For roughly 50 years, almost 50 years, the Roe v. Wade decision has stood for a simple, fundamental principle. The only person who should be deciding when and whether to bear a child is the person who can become pregnant. Women have depended on that right for their autonomy. They've depended on it to order their lives. And today, that right is under threat as never before. A law in Texas, SB 8, has deputized private bounty hunters to pursue women, providers, individuals who may assist someone else in receiving and obtaining reproductive health care. And the Supreme Court has declined to overturn this clearly unconstitutional law. As Jillian also said, there's a law in Mississippi that's coming before the court, or came before the court, and we're awaiting a decision on. And it seems as if the court is ready to overrule Roe v. Wade. Now, here in Connecticut, we've taken important, vital steps to protect women and other pregnant people's right to determine their own reproductive futures. We have passed the Roe standard into statute, and we've taken other measures that are important to ensure access. But there are other measures that need to be implemented as well. As Jillian indicated previously, we have to take steps to modernize our laws with regard to reproductive health care so they reflect the current realities of how it's being provided, reimbursed, and accessed, so that everyone here in Connecticut can access their fundamental right to reproductive health care. And unfortunately, we also have to take additional measures to prevent other states from imposing their extreme and radical laws on Connecticut residents. Some people have indicated that if the Supreme Court strikes down Roe v. Wade, that the right to abortion and reproductive health care will be left to the states. That is true, but it is left to all the states. States have significant authority and power to attempt to impose their laws outside of their borders. And that's why it's so important that we take steps to protect people here in Connecticut and people across the country seeking reproductive health care that we've protected here in Connecticut from the extreme and sometimes barbaric consequences of some of these other states' laws. So with that in mind, Representative Gilchrist and I are very proud to announce today the formation of the Reproductive Rights Caucus in the General Assembly. We have more than 40 members, and we expect that number to continue to grow. And we're going to be pursuing an agenda of reproductive freedom here in the state of Connecticut, to make Connecticut a freedom state, a state that ensures access for all residents and people who pursue reproductive health care here in Connecticut, a state that protects people from other states' laws seeking to criminalize or impose civil liability on their reproductive rights or their provision of reproductive rights. And a state that protects the privacy and the medical records of people here in the state of Connecticut and elsewhere who come here for care, and also a state that prevents other states from commandeering our state resources and agencies to attempt to criminalize reproductive freedom. So with all this in mind, while this is a very dark time to be having to address some of these issues, we stand steadfast here in the General Assembly, ready to take the steps that are necessary to protect reproductive freedom here in the state of Connecticut. And we're going to fight together, and I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you.